I was thinking about basketball today, and I was watching. I was just on YouTube and it was going across, and I saw a headline for ESPN and stuff like that, and it
Mhm.
was Lakers Mount Rushmore. Like who
Okay.
would be on the top of Mount Rushmore for specifically the Lakers, like not all the time, just the Lakers. And I found that really interesting because LeBron James was brought into that concept. Was like, oh, he could be, he can be on Mount Rushmore. And I was
He
sitting there, and
could.
I watched it, and I was like, first team
Were they saying?
Mount Rushmore.
Were they saying
No,
LA in general or just in NBA history?
no, LA, just the Lakers in general, just the Lakers themselves. Like an all-time Laker, if you take the
Hmm.
Lakers all time, there's someone saying that LeBron could be on it. You could argue LeBron on it, and I sitting here like all time. I could argue all time, yes, of not just like of like the whole NBA. I think the whole NBA, you can argue him being on Mount Rushmore.
Hmm.
But if you look at specifically just the Lakers, no, I would get him around. I have him probably eighth on the list, 10th on the list. First
Yeah.
person came to mind was Kobe.
Yeah, I think most
Five
people is
five
Kobe.
time five time title winner. Three
Hmm.
he did a three-peat. Multiple accolades of you know all team kind of thing. First all team, all stars. He was on the Olympic team. Won gold medals. So he's on it 100%. Um, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, another five-time winner. Um, Magic Johnson, again,
Hmm.
another five-time winner. So there's three spots right there that collectively they have they have 15 chips.
Yep.
You can't deny that, Matt. You can't
You
deny them
cannot.
those spots.
No.
So there's one spot left because there's only four Mount Rushmore.
Hmm.
There's one spot left. And I was thinking about this. I'm like, okay, Shaq came and he left, but he three-peated, right? He was a three-time MVP, Finals MVP
Hmm.
consecutively, so he won all three. Then I thought of
Yeah, he
then I
won
thought
that,
of Jerry.
and O'Neal just saying he won the MVP every time that he won that title with
Yeah,
LA.
exactly. So he three-peated MVPs and he three-peated in chips.
Yeah.
And then Jerry West, I thought about because he may have only won one chip as a player, but he's the logo, transcended the sport pretty much.
Hmm.
And arguably, if not, he was the best GM
Oh yeah.
in the NBA because he built the 1980s Laker team
Hmm.
won five championships in 10 years
Yeah.
between like what 1982 and 1990, so 8 years or whatever. He
Hmm.
won. They won five. He might not have been there the entire time. I can't remember when he left. I don't think he was there the entire time, but he built
He
that.
was
As a
there.
he
Yeah. 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 Sorry,
he
I
had
was
built
like
that.
this. Hmm.
Yeah, was he there the entire time?
Uh, so Jerry West as a player was there for 12 years,
Yeah.
always with the Lakers. I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
find see if there's anywhere that says his GM.
But regardless, he built that 1980s roster that brought them there. So
Hmm.
you can argue he was part of six he was part of six NBA championships.
Easily.
So I put
Oh.
Jerry West there. That was my four:
Hmm.
Kobe, Johnson, Kareem, and West.
So he was there from. Damn. Really? So he became GM in 82, 83
Okay.
with the Lakers. Um, he brought them 5 rings
Yeah. And he won one.
in
So that's
80,
six.
82, 85, 87, and 88.
Yeah. So he's in charge of he's in charge of 6 NBA championships with the Lakers. So you can't take him off.
You kind of have to. Because he also got the drafting rights to Kobe Bryant and signed Shaquille O'Neal before he left.
So yeah, okay, well then you can't move him off it. Those are the four then.
He laid down and at least this is saying he laid down the foundation for the three-peat, which saw LA winning 3 titles from 2000 to 2002.
Yeah. So
he wasn't there for those, but he laid the groundwork for why most of those teams were so successful, which was pretty much that they had Kobe and Shaq at that point.
So it's Kobe, Kareem, Jerry West, Magic Johnson are the four. And then after that, I would say Shaquille O'Neal's next because of the 3P and 3 finals MVP. Wilt Chamberlain was only there for like his last 5 years. Arguably, probably one of the best Lakers still in the top 10. Top 8, right? And then I start considering LeBron since he has a title.
Yeah. But
that's where I'm like,
it's kind of like when you're trying to compare these, it's kind of like comparing it to the Celtics because these two teams are the most iconic NBA teams with the most well-known players to have ever played. And because of that, that's why LeBron kind of came here. Well, it came to LA too.
Exactly.
But I think my Mount Rushmore is probably going to be about the same as yours. After reading all this, I feel like you almost have to put Jerry West. Also, Jerry West's number is retired by the Lakers too, 44.
Yeah, all those numbers.
All those retired. Guys. But yeah, I think you have to put Magic in there just because of what he was able to do. Also. Like if you also look at the period he was coming up right around when Bird was in there, right at the beginning of Jordan and everything. He was in a very hard era in terms of and what I thought and what I think of the NBA, just because of so many of the greats that you think of, he was playing against. So I feel like you had to put Magic in there. I feel like you had to put Jerry West in there. Kareem you have to put in there too. Because I feel like the name, if you think outside of just Kobe or LeBron now, or even Magic, the first person you thought face wise of the Lakers was Kareem. And
before Kobe and all them,
yeah, he was the guy. So he helped so much what he was able to do, and he was I think he came in after Chamberlain, but the two of them were together, I think, for a little bit too. But
nearing the end of their careers, they were.
Yeah,
some of these guys kind of like clash, like Johnson,
clashed a little bit.
Bryant, Shaq, they all kind of.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, for mine, I have Jerry West, Magic, Kareem, and you got to put Kobe in there.
Yeah,
you got to. Because for me, for those four, Jerry West is the only one, and I feel like we've made a pretty good case of why he should be in there. But I feel like he's the only one you could really say, okay, if you're taking one of these guys out, it's him. Because no one's taking out Kobe, no one's taking out Kareem, no one's taking out Magic.
Yeah, the only reason you would take him out is because he only if you want to look at it as a player himself. But then you got to put him. He transcended the sport. He became the logo.
Yeah,
as a player, not as a GM, but as a player.
Mm-hmm.
And I just can't, for the life of me, get LeBron on there.
No, I can't either.
There's
as
no
good as
way.
LeBron has been, and he may very well be right on the Mount Rushmore of NBA players in history. But if we're just talking specifically LA Lakers, compared to the other guys, he also has only won one.
In counting, but yes. One
in counting, yes. But more than likely, I don't see them winning this year because they haven't really played.
No, I can't, even if he won 2, I can't put him on there.
No.
Because even for sake of saying, like, that is my Mount Rushmore. That is my Mount Rushmore. But just for the sake of saying, if you wanted to try to get somebody else in there, you could be like, okay, just as a player, not as a GM, not as a front office, not an executive, just as a player, you could take out West, I guess.
Yeah.
I still probably leave him in there, but he's the only one I would probably remove.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd put Shaquille O'Neal. I'll put Shaq in there. That's if I decided to take somebody out, West would be gone. O'Neal would go in. And I still probably want to take out West. Like, I just can't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was thinking about that. I was just sitting here. I sat here for about 20 minutes. I'm like, who is it? And I'm like, and because someone was like saying LeBron could be on there. And I'm like, no, I can't put him on there. I
can't.
I'm like, I physically, even though I'm not a Lakers fan, we all know all those are all Hall of Famers. Also,
yeah,
LeBron will be a Hall of Famer eventually. But it's like you ahead of LeBron, you still have two other Hall of Famers. You have Wilt and you have Shaquille.
Yeah,
who have, again, Shaq has 3, so it's kind of like if LeBron wants to be on there, he has to win 2 more. He has to become a Hall of Famer, which he will. So that he checks all those, and he probably has to be consistent at the end of it. Choose to like he has to be a consistent shooter and point.
Yeah.
You can't have these
points. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't have these 10, 15, okay, like you can't have these 10-point games or whatever. He has to consistently proven like Kobe consistently went out and just dropped.
Mm-hmm. And with LeBron getting older, that's just going to be harder for him to be able to do.
I mean, I could argue him being on Mount Rushmore though for the NBA though.
Yeah, I can make that argument, but even that one
could easily be done.
Yeah, that one can be done, but even that one I feel like is still hard. And that's not saying LeBron was a bad player, because he's always been a great player. He's first ballot.
I would put him at number 3.
Yeah,
I would have him at number 3.